Hello guys, and welcome to another evening of Pro League coverage with Damian. Tonight we're going to have Hwaseung versus Wemade Fox. And in another best of 3 match, because this is, like I said, the Pro League. And this is going to be initially between Baby and Hoya. Baby, of course, representing Wemade Fox. He's been on Wemade Fox forever since he entered the Pro League, which has been about 3 or 4 years now. Baby is, of course, the youngest player that ever entered the Pro League. And he entered it, when he was like 9 or 10. Which is still, he's 11 and 12 in United States years, but still, that's really young. And then Hwaseung has Hoya. Now, right when we get into this game, it's going to do something really confusing that made me miscast the game for like half the time, so I want you to pay attention to this. Notice it says Tai is purple. Tai is Baby. But they're really tricky here, because right when they go down here, it's going to boom, it went from purple to yellow, which confused the hell out of me because I didn't notice it the first time. And so I noticed that yellow on that previous screen was for Hoya. And so the entire time I thought Hoya was in the lower corner, but no. Baby is in the lower corner, Hoya is in the upper corner. For those of you that for some reason can't see the map, that makes Baby be in the lower left, Hoya is in the upper right. So Hoya is going to be in red. Initially it showed yellow, but they changed the colors on us, so Hoya is now in red, Baby is in yellow. Everyone clear on that? Everyone with me? Good. Alright. So as I was saying, Baby, like I said, was the youngest pro gamer. I don't know if he's still the youngest. Like I said, he's been in Pro League for 4 or 5 years now, so surely someone has been recruited that is younger than him. But honestly and amazingly, he may still be the youngest, like, televised pro gamer. Other than practice partners and, snipers and things like that, but of the players they actually routinely send out and they're kind of their A and B listers, I can't think of any that are actually younger than Baby, so it may still be that he's the youngest of the, ones that actually go out and play all the time, which would be incredible. I mean, you join as the youngest Pro League player, and then 4 or 5 years later, you're still the youngest active one? That would be incredible. Okay, and it looks like Baby is sending out a scout. Let's see what his opponent is up to. And, whoa, no, he's sending out a scout, he's doing a proxy. They have about equal barracks timing, but of course, Baby's out in the field. Whereas Hoya is, obviously still in his base. Hoya is not proxy. Ninjas do not proxy. Hoya is, Tasteless once said Hoya was the sound that a ninja makes in one of his casts, and I referenced that at one point and got this huge argument with someone because they were like, no, ninjas don't make sounds. Ninjas are ninjas, they are stealthy. Hoya is the sound that a martial artist makes, but I like Hoya being a ninja, he's a bad ninja, okay? I'm gonna call Hoya the Red Ninja. Not red as in you can never kill them, like the red shuttle, but no, he's the Red Ninja because he is bad. Ninjas don't wear red, ninjas should wear black. Okay, let's see what's happening with this proxy. That barracks should almost be done, but unfortunately Baby hasn't scouted, so Baby doesn't know. Okay, it looks like his SCV is now moving, but is moving in the wrong direction. He's trying to scout out Hoya in the lower right, which that is not where Hoya is, baby. And he's actually sending out a second scout, but the second scout is also going to the wrong place. So, and the Marine is going to go to the right place, and if he was paying attention, the Marine just saw that SCV. And wow, the screen just sort of flipped and went to a weird color, but that's okay. The screen is allowed to do that. So here come the 2 SCVs. The SCVs are figuring out that, yes, he is in the upper right. So the Marine is barreling in on there with some SCV backup coming from the south. Wait, is Hoya ready for this? He probably should be, because he only got 1 Marine coming in there, and he should have at least 1 Marine on the ramp. Okay, he has exactly 1 Marine on the ramp, and interestingly, Baby is going to turn around and go back home without even seeing the Marine. I guess in his head he just knows the timing is screwed up now. And he is making a factory back home, so he is pretty quickly transitioning into mech play. Which actually, that was a little bit of a weird, unorthodox opening, but in the end, all he did is he pulled some SCVs off the line. He lost a little bit of mining, but in the long run, that's not going to hurt him too much. It's going to delay his timing on a few things, but it's certainly not going to, there's no way that, Hoya can get troops to his base before he can get the troops to answer them. The distance is just too great. And now, of course, because that barracks was halfway across the map, is now floating over to Hoya's base, and it's going to get there, I won't say pretty soon, but it'll get there long before Hoya's barracks is going to get across the map, because it doesn't have quite as far to fly. I'm sure they are wishing for StarCraft 2 barracks right now, because StarCraft 2 buildings actually fly pretty fast. They are much better at that, a lot more mobile. And here come the barracks floating towards each other. Aerial collision! No! Alright, we got 2 Marines, we got a Vulture guarding the ram, and we do have a proxy, or not a proxy, but an expansion going down from Baby. So that's kind of weird. He went for a rush, and the rush didn't quite work, and so he's going from a rush to a fast expand. Those are like the polar opposite builds, but he transitioned from one into the other. So here we got 2 Vultures coming in to pressure the other side, and those can be not mean, because those Vultures will take down those Marines very quickly, and then tag team on the other Vulture. The other Vulture did manage to take out one of the Vultures, but now there's a full strength Vulture, so... Ooh, and he just managed to kill off the SCV before the command center got finished. So the command center cannot lift off yet because it's not done. Now this Vulture is going to push out, and hopefully he can finish his command center. He should be able to. That command center is close enough to done that another SCV does go down, but yeah, wow, another SCV goes down. I actually thought that other SCV would have made it, and Hoya now has his expansion out. His expansion, even though he got started later, this Vulture managed to harass that expansion enough that he didn't get it finished. You know, he couldn't finish the command center, and he is now maynarding troops over there. I guess he got it finished now. So Hoya only has a couple of seconds head start on the expansion, but it is impressive that his expansion got up before the other person. So, and it doesn't look like Hoya's got an armory out already. So he's going to go for an early advantage in the upgrade war. Plus he can get Goliaths out, so... Goliaths can really penalize his opponent, because they can take down that barracks pretty quickly. And meanwhile, it looks like Baby is playing a similar game. He actually got a Wraith instead of Goliath. And, hey, to be fair, you know, there aren't any Goliaths for Hoya yet. He just has the capability to make them. But the Wraith is right now taking out that barracks. And it's going to take out that barracks. In fact, both of them are probably going to lose their barracks, which is going to force them to rebuild it before they can make additional factories. Right now, though, it looks like Baby does not have a second factory. So if his barracks goes down, he's going to be a little bit behind Hoya, where Hoya has 2 operational factories. So it's going to suck. Yep, there's those Goliaths, and barracks is in the red. It is burning down. It is incinerating itself. Plus, there are 2 tanks out, and there was a Marine up on the Marine was like, "I'm going to take you out!" Man, think how long it would take to take a building out with a machine gun. That's what that poor Marine was trying to do. And not only building a flying building. Flying buildings are better than normal buildings. So it does look like both barracks have now gone down. And yep, it does. Baby did not make another factory. Actually, he may have. There's 2 buildings going up, and I can't believe they're both barracks. But he certainly doesn't have an operational factory right now. So both of them are having to rebuild a barracks before they can build factories. But Hoya has an advantage because he has 2 operational barracks at the moment. So if he pushes production right now, he can beat out his opponent. And ooh, there goes, yeah, there goes a paper airplane getting, you know, burnt to the ground. That's why they blow up at the end, because fire gets involved, and fire is no good for Wraiths. Wraiths don't like fire. Oh, and here comes a control tower from Baby. Baby perhaps realizing if he got into the base that Hoya had 2 factories, he's like, well, you know what? I'm going to have to make, you know, capitalize on my advantage, and I have a starport, and he doesn't. So with dropships, I can capitalize this and become more mobile than my opponent, even though my troop count will be less. It's a bit of a gamble, because when you become more mobile, you do drops and you harass the other person, but you weaken your ground force even further. However, Baby is making more and more factories. He does have a second factory up, he's making a third and a fourth. So the current advantage Hoya has is not going to last. I mean, they're both macroing up like crazy, don't get me wrong, because they both have 4 factories on the way, but Hoya should have more troops out since he had that second factory for so long. Right now it looks like they're about even on factories, and Baby has a starport. So as long as Baby doesn't get overrun right here, which he probably shouldn't, there are a lot of troops coming in, but hopefully Baby has enough. I'm not really sure. Baby's troops are really spread out, so I don't have a good idea where they are. Or I mean, I know where they are, I just don't know how many they have. So there are some Goliaths that are doing not a good job right now. They, you know, really, there you go. You need to move in close and take those guys out. So maybe Hoya can't. Nope, there comes some more siege tanks from the south. So it does look like Baby's going to be able to hold this back, albeit he was in a bad position. But because his resupply route is so short, he was able to, you know, keep his troops together, keep that push from really going, and really, that was not the most aggressive push I've seen. You know, if you really want to go for the throttle, you know, and get in there, then you can make the siege tanks come to you. You know, the siege tanks were not really warding off the base, they were coming in from the north. So you could have gotten around them. Come on, Hoya. That's not very ninja-y of you. Or martial artsist-y. And there apparently used to be a Marine there, and there's not anymore. Marines do not do very well against fragmentation grenades. And hey, it looks like Baby now has Spider Mines. Spider Mines are going to be very helpful against this tank push that's coming in. In fact, this is probably going to stop the push dead because Terrans do really well against Spider Mines. Almost all of their units fire instantaneously. But of all the units, tanks are probably the worst for shooting them down. Goliaths have a great rate of fire against them, but tanks, they got that one volley, and if they all targeted the closest Spider Mine, then all the others are going to just skitter right up. Once again, I still don't know what spiders do when they move, what adjective you use, but I'm going to use Skitter, because Skitter was the guy on Muppet Babies, and he's my hero. Actually, I think it was Scooter. But, oh well. It gets to be Skitter if I want it to, darn it. Ooh, and this is very good, because he's going to try and run his guys in. Although I think Baby was counting on the idea that there were still Goliaths. Because when Vultures run in, it doesn't do a whole lot for you. Vultures are not going to set off Spider Mines because they're hover bikes. And things that hover... Oh, hey, it looks like there's a... Oh, no. Yeah, there is a drop going in.